Like F5. No, it doesn't even say F5 anymore.
I wish I was playing 10 years ago, because I'm pretty sure I would have got some 10k finish.
Mind your business!
A certain Egyptian king is being ignored.
Saint Maximin! Oh my goodness.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Only One Bonus Point, a light take on a deep game. We're your hosts. I'm Law.
And my name is Ray. The festivities. Hey, Law, how's it been for you, sir?
Not too bad, man. Just present buying and using up all my money. But other than that, it's been good.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Christmas as an adult is all about spending money.
It really is, actually, isn't it? I mean, spoiler alert. So I have like all the birthdays around this time as well. And it's not like, you know, like your cousin that you don't see and, you know, they live in a different country. No. Mum, dad, stepmom, stepdad, brothers, sisters. So I don't even dare look at my bank statements.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
But this time always brings us joy, obviously. And for everyone watching, you know, obviously, Merry Christmas from your Only One Bonus boys and Happy New Year. And of course, RJ is pushing those sentiments on as well, Law. So yeah, good times.
Before we get into anything, please make sure you follow us on Twitter. The main account is at Only One Bonus Points. My account is at Only One _Law.
Yeah, RJ is at _Only One RJ. Myself, I'm at Ray _Q. You can also email us onlyoneBonusPoint@gmail.com, and the mini league code, Law,
is Oscar Charlie 3 Bravo Kilo.
Oh, you did it better than the other guy does it, man. Well done.
I was lucky. It came up on the ticker at the right time.
That's why I timed it. I timed it just there for you.
All right, what are we going to get into today?
Okay, so it's been an unbelievable day of FPL, so I'm sure we'll get into that at one point. Otherwise, we're going to go through the game week 18 fixtures. We'll pick some of our favorites. We'll go through our bus teams and we'll go through my favorite segment, our community questions. So very exciting, sir. So I think before we start on the actual fixtures, FPL are pulling a bit. It's kind of like what side they wake up on, because obviously we've got the solid March ones. I remember you and I discussed this last season, and they're like, no, it's just, even though he got the goal officially, we're not going to give it to him in the game. But with Solanke, with the game, they've completely, it's all void now. What are your thoughts on that?
It kind of, if the whole game is going to be replayed, then it makes sense that game and everything scored in it is void, because it's no longer official. So in my mind, it's the right move to make. As much as it annoys me, because we're going to get into it, someone got a very good fallout from this situation. Very, very good fallout. So, but I still think it is the right decision. If the game is null and void, then that's the right decision. Yeah.
Could you imagine if they didn't and people kept their points? And I'm like, that's...
Yeah, I know. So you get the points and then you get it again when they play. Yeah, that would have been mad. That would have been mad.
And you know, everyone's gonna like just get into Solanke as well, and
exactly,
or whoever. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's not talk about that certain person who got the most jam points I've seen so far online. It's from our very own RJ. How much? 16 points.
16 points off the bench.
And when he benched him, I was ready to give him absolute bullets, man. You know, for benching him. But anyway, it is what it is. So
16 points off the bench. Turned him from red to green arrow as well. Yeah, great.
I know.
It's lovely when it comes out like that, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it, guys. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. So game week 18 fixtures. So packed up. I love this time personally. It's just football every day. Can enjoy it, chill. You know, if you're staying at home, it's just absolute bliss. But out of all these fixtures, Law, maybe we'll just go through a couple each. But you know, what's the first one that really reached out to you?
Villa Sheffield United, because I think that's the best captaincy choice there. Watkins playing against that Sheffield United defense at home. Yeah, that's just a prime fixture in my eyes. I can't look past it. I cannot look past it.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Watkins, in my opinion. Like I didn't think of Salah. I didn't think of Son. It was like, yep, Watkins.
I was going to say, I've seen a few people make an argument for Son against Everton, but one thing I read today that was interesting is Everton have the third best expected goals conceded, behind City and Arsenal. Yeah, that is
All
not
season.
going to be a simple.
Not recently, like all season.
All season. That's not going to be an easy fixture for Spurs. I promise you not. It really isn't. I definitely move towards Villa against Sheffield United.
So, yeah, I think absolutely. But, Gordon is, we'll get to my bus teams obviously eventually, but Gordon's got the yellow flag. And if you feel inclined to take him out, I've seen a few people discuss maybe Douglas Luiz. Now, we know what we're thinking of. We're just thinking of penalties, but he's still getting points, however you want to justify or
and he does normally get them at home as well when they are playing at home. Yeah,
exactly. So do you think that kind of like Gordon to Luiz is very much unbelievably short term? But do you think maybe it's like everyone has Watkins, so maybe double up on someone else? What do you think?
I like that idea because Villa are in great form and they're up against United after that as well. And United are conceding goals apart from the Liverpool game, which we played to not concede basically. But yeah, I like it. I like it, to be fair. I like it. And I think Doug Luiz is a great shout because not many people are going to go in that direction.
Yeah. I think my first fixture from a footballing aspect, but obviously FPL as well, is Liverpool versus Arsenal. I think it's just huge for both teams.
It's the game of the weekend, without a doubt.
Yeah, just the approach. I don't know how it's going to, I can't even foresee how it will play out, what the approach will be from Liverpool, because when I watched them against Manchester United, I was thinking our central and midfield is a lot more powerful than what Man United had out there, and I felt Manchester United were able to get through midfield quite easily when they did have a couple of opportunities. So I think if Liverpool played that kind of kamikaze way in midfield against us, I do think we'll punish them because I think our midfield is stronger at this current time. But from an FPL asset, you play your attackers. That's all I'll say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I got Saka, I got Salah. I'm gonna play him. I've got Trent. I'm gonna play him. He's an attacker, in my opinion. But as a neutral, what are your thoughts on the game?
Like I said, I think it will be the game of the weekend. I think tactically it'll be very interesting. I think both of you had similar situations where you both had games that you've played in where you're the favourites, but you found it difficult and still managed to win. So it'll be very interesting to see two people who have similar form go up against each other in that sort of way. So I actually don't know if it's going to be scorefest or really close, tight encounter. I genuinely don't know which way this game is going to go.
It's the first time I felt that in years with Liverpool and Arsenal, because Liverpool have completely revamped their whole midfield, and obviously Arsenal are now playing with more control over expressive kind of creativity. But against Brighton, I must say it was, for me, our best game of the season. I thought we were fantastic against Brighton. We could have scored 4 or 5, but yeah, in regards to assets, apart from the obvious ones we have, I've seen a lot of Jesus coming in. I mean, punty.
A little bit. It's a shout though. He's not hit form in the Premier this season. Outside of the Premier, but in the Premier for whatever reason, he's not quite hit form. So yeah. But still, your fixtures are really good going forward. So I'm not.
But the problem is Jesus isn't physically reliable.
There is that.
So I wouldn't. I'd rather go for Odegaard if you could. Jesus, if you had a pick. So,
is Havertz an option now?
Yeah, someone else asked me, and I was terrified you're going to ask me this question. Terrified. That is the word. I was terrified.
Yeah. I was looking at it and I was thinking he might be. He might just be.
I tell you what, he's found his spot in the team. We're playing to his strengths in regards to, he's very good at finding open space. And what I love about him now is when he gets the ball, he's actually trying to do something rather than just lay it off and stuff we were complaining about beginning of the season. And we're finally starting to adopt the long ball approach sometimes, depending on the game. And he's brilliant in the air. He's 6'4", he puts himself about. If you are... Look, there's going to be a point where we're selling Son and Salah, isn't it? Because of
exactly.
AFCON and Asia Cup, respectively. I think a lot of people are going to go into Arsenal assets, and if you're really tight for money, which I don't think you should be, then I do like the Havertz pick. But I always look at Havertz and think you are not guaranteed to start in midfield like Rice and Odegaard are.
Yeah.
So at this time, you don't. At this time, I would not want to select players that I'm worried about starting.
Who takes Havertz's place in the Arsenal lineup? Like in the like,
At the
needs
moment,
a change of system, right? Because
At
no
the
one else
moment,
plays.
absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Trossard can play that position. He'll do that sometimes. We'll try Trossard. But my issue with picking Havertz is almost like when you pick Gabriel or Zinchenko. You can see this odd game where Kivior will start. Yeah. And with Havertz and Jesus, you'll see this odd game where Nketiah starts, and rather than Havertz, he might try and get Partey back in if he's ever fit. And Trossard, for example, because is he explosive? I think Havertz could be, but the issue with this fixture congestion is that it's a big risk to go for someone like Havertz. Do I think he can return law? Absolutely. He's looking like a really good player now, in my opinion. But I'd rather spend the extra money on someone like Odegaard, who is starting to look like he's back in form now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Cool. What's your second fixture?
My second fixture of the weekend, I don't own anyone from this team, but West Ham versus Man United. Yeah, I think that could be a very good game for West Ham.
Yeah,
I'm really not impressed with where Man United are right now. And I think they're in big trouble. And I feel like every time I see them coming up against the team, I'm like, yeah, they could do them over here. So West Ham against United. One, I think it would be a good fixture. United are desperate for a W, and West Ham are very good at capitalizing on that. I think that's going to be a great fixture. And shout out to everyone who has Kudus or Bowen. Well, there you go. Assets wise, is it? If you had any assets playing in this game, because obviously we've got a few players blank, would you just play them, even if it's not Areola, but someone like Soufal? Yeah, I would play Soufal in that game. Yeah. I'm not saying it's guaranteed they're going to keep a clean sheet, but
of course,
there's a chance of attacking returns. I would play Soufal in this game. Yeah.
So from a footballing aspect, that's what makes last season so miraculous, that Ten Hag not only finished in the top 4, but they got a trophy out of it as well, because the football has not been different at all. Actually, it's still they're waiting moments, but Rashford is just not feeling it. That's the main difference between them this year and last year. Is they don't have that potent forward. They don't have the potent forward. But if I compare it to Arsenal and Arteta, our first 2 seasons were absolutely terrible in regards to the type of football we were playing, and we were losing left, right, and centre. Before last season, I think Arteta's Premier League record was ridiculous. Like he lost 35% to 40% of the games he played. That's madness. So he was able to survive just under 2 seasons, and we won an FA Cup. So that was kind of like his, get out of jail for a little while. That was at the very beginning, though, wasn't it? So even though he won the FA Cup, it was like becoming a memory rather than a recent achievement. You know what I mean? 100%. No, you're fully correct. He's had 3 full seasons since that time. And, we're making progress. But it really was only into his 3rd season where there was actually an identity of the way we play, I must say. So we went away from being defensive, and then we got Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, these kind of players to take us to the next creative level. I think with Manchester United, there's a lot of pain, obviously, in this, but who else can you go to? You might as well give him the time. Does that make sense? I think that's the same with Chelsea and Poch, and I think it's the same thing with us and Ange. If it continues to be a bad run of games, it's the exact same thing. There's proof in the pudding between the managers that are top of the table, the Guardiolas, the Klopps, and the Artetas, that given time to implement their systems, it works. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you keep jumping, as we've done for many, many years, if you keep jumping, the only time we've seen any, I hate to use the word success because we didn't win anything, but the only time we've seen Spurs do well is when we kept Poch for 5 years. Yeah. Before that, when hopping from manager to manager, it's never worked. So I completely agree. Holding on to the manager, believing in, there's a reason you hired him, believing in the ideas, and then I
unless they go into a press conference and completely shout at everyone that is a part of the club, then other than that, yeah, stick behind him. I agree.
Yeah. But I love the downfall. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, long may it continue. But they've just got too much money and they're too much of a power that eventually it will just turn, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think the same with Chelsea as well. There's just too much money involved for them not to get it right at some point.
Absolutely, and I think that's a perfect segue to my second fixture, which is Wolves Chelsea. Simply from an FPL point of view, is I think yesterday Colwill came off at halftime because he was absolutely terrible in the Carabao Cup game. But a lot of us are going to have double Chelsea. I have double Chelsea and Colwill and Palmer. But I'm very interested to see if they start with Nkunku, because when he came on, you just see the class difference between himself and Nicholas Jackson. It's just night and day.
Going to be on this weekend.
Yeah.
If he starts this weekend, then he'll be the most transferred in player game week 19.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Who do you have from Chelsea?
No one, because I had James because I went for a punt, got the red card, and then obviously the plan was to bring it in. The plan was to bring it in. Or I'll go through it when we go for our bus teams. But the plan was to bring in Palmer for a Dingra. But now I've got different issues which we'll go into. So yeah, we'll discuss that soon. So right now at this moment in time, I don't have any Chelsea. Which, apart from Palmer, hasn't burnt me too bad because they've actually been pretty poor. But yeah.
I guess we could do one more, really. Is there another one that kind of gets you? Maybe a punty game, if that makes sense?
One I think a lot of people are going to have eyes on is Forest Bournemouth. Yeah. Forest Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they're just in a good run of form. And Forest now have...
New manager, Nuno.
Yeah, so do they get the new manager bounce? Or do they continue to suck?
Yeah. It's just a spoiler to the bus team, so I'll hold my I'll hold it. But I wish they made this change like yesterday, because then I might have not made changes myself. Because you know how Nuno's going to set up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he should have got sacked?
I don't know, because when I watched them play against us, they actually played really well. It was only two moments of really good play from us that got us the goals. It wasn't major mistakes from them, or there was just that slight bit of quality. Kulusevski was unplayable in that game. That's why that slight level of quality above is what cost them. It wasn't a tactical issue. It wasn't the players not playing. It wasn't a mistake. And I think that's been the case for the last few games. So I do wonder if they stuck with him. I think they would have seen a turn. I do think they would have seen a turn in fortune.
Yeah, it's interesting that because they're 5 points above the relegation zone at the moment. It's kind of hilarious that he's got sacked, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think he's done too much for them to get sacked so easily.
True, but they've lost 5 of their last 6 matches as well.
Their current run has been abysmal, but even us Spurs, we lost 4 of our last 5. City haven't won. Gone as well.
They have won 1 game since game week 4.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot worse. That's a lot worse than just 5 games.
What can you say, innit? Oh my god, that's
I take everything I said back.
Goalkeeper, man. But, you know what I mean? Like 1 win in like 16 games, man. Come on.
I take it all back.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
but is Nuno the right man? I think he's the right man to keep them up. Because he is quite defensive. They spent a lot of money on that defense, so you assume they'll be able to play that type of system. I think he's capable of keeping them up. I don't know if he's going to do great things with the 100 million or whatever they've spent on players.
Yeah, it's crazy how much they've actually spent. They spent
a lot of money.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of. The more we talk, the more I'm understanding.
Sentimentality has to go out the window because look, bro, we've given you money. Like, come on. Oh, brilliant. So, guys, before we go into the next section, once again, you can find our socials below, so please give us a follow. We are babies in this game, so any kind of like, subscribe, anything whatsoever, any kind of audio platform as well, we are on there, and we always appreciate your support. So, the next fun part is our bus teams. So,
Bus teams.
before we go in, we are proud to have linked up with Draft Hound. We go through this every single week, but I absolutely love using Draft Hound. I just love the look. I love the aesthetics of it. I love how easy it is to use. Player comparisons are unbelievable. You know, you could just look at fixtures and all the points and stuff like that. And Law, you've waxed poetic about them before as well.
Yeah, I love it as well. I use it all the time. As you said, I love aesthetically how it looks, the ease of use. It's a really great platform. I'm really glad they're with us.
Yeah, so guys, use the affiliate link in the description, and obviously you'll be doing us a massive favor. So, to my boss team, I made a change because Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, I feel that pain.
Why? The exact same thing happened last season. I think he got me one amazing return last season after I did a good old thread of it. And this season, I'm like, Jota's out. He's a chaos machine. Blah blah blah.
It's crazy that even like on the eye test, you can see obviously he's missing chances, but it's the fact that he's getting those chances in your mind. You're like, at some point, he's gonna put it in the back of the net because he can't keep getting these chances and keep missing. And somehow he keeps getting these chances and he's missing. And it's not like he's anonymous in the games. Like he's in the thick of it. He's in the absolute thick of it. Just like a pig in shit. It's unbelievable to watch.
Literally a pig in blanket, if you want a Christmas pun. Honestly, you're right, man. The guy is just so frustrating. And the thing is like I can see him scoring against us this weekend because that's the kind of player he is. Yeah, that's how he is. You know, he'll suddenly look like the finisher that Klopp thought he was purchasing. He's a really bad finisher, isn't he? He's trash.
It's Jackson.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
He's a white Jackson.
Crazy.
So I took out Darwin and brought in Solanke because
it makes sense.
Day before yesterday, Darwin was going down and Solanke was going up, and there's gonna be a point where those 0.1s or 0.2s are going to mean something because if we want to bring back Haaland in 20 and think of what we're going to do with Salah and Son, that I kind of made the move early, but then bloody Gordon came off yesterday. But anyway,
I don't know what's going to happen with Gordon there because I think Howard did say like he had a bad knock and he's in a bit of pain. So. And there's no other press conference before deadline, so it's just like, what do you do? Do you?
Yeah, hopefully it was very much like Caicedo kind of just scathed the back of his leg. He literally tried to skin a cat the way he did it. And Gordon went down, and he's like, "Nah, man." Like Gordon was kind of like wobbly all over the place, wasn't he?
They're all absolutely like I was going to say a different word, but I'll change it to fatigued. They're fatigued. They're all fatigued. They've played so many games and they've not been able to change their starting 11. And I actually feel for them. Like their injury situation is terrible, and it's hurting them because they're having a great season and it's starting to hurt. I think
so. Yeah, that depth. But January, I definitely feel them bringing players.
I'm sure they'll bolster. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let me read out my team for those listening in. So got Dubravka, Trent, which I think is looking like a really good shout now. He's returning very well for me. Trent, Lascelles, Colwill, Sonny, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Gordon, Captain Watkins, and new signing Solanke. On the bench, I got Turner, a suspended Udogie, which is really becoming kind of costly now because he would have been brilliant to bring off the bench. Julian Alvarez, blank, but I'm very happy to keep him, and Taylor, who I think might be used now for a guy who's taken -16 in the last 2 game weeks. and somehow got green arrows in both those game weeks. I'm thinking I am not going to take a hit this time because I just don't feel I need to, because whoever I bring in is not really a long-term play for eventually what I'm going to want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
So expected points 62.1, 1.9 million in the bank. So, Law, what are you thinking? You think I look all right?
Yeah, I think you look all right, to be honest. Your only fear is Gordon, who might come. He'll come in for Taylor will come in for him if he doesn't play, right? So you've got that option there. Yeah, I avoid the hit if I was you. I avoid the hit.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the players that you bring in for Gordon aren't long term. So you're just forcing the move, and you'll probably end up hitting to get that same person out.
Presto, exactly.
So yeah, I avoid the hit.
And the good thing is that if I do keep Gordon and he's out this week, even if next week he's out as well, I'm happy to play a 3-4-3 where Alvarez comes back into the lineup, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, so it's
absolutely
so
cool,
decent. So now we shall go to your team, Law.
Yes. So I'll read it out first. So in goal, I've got Dubravka. In defense, I've got Pedro Porro, Bell, Tsimikas. In midfield, Gordon, Saka, Salah, Son, Adingra, and up front, Darwin and Jimenez. Last week, I brought Jimenez in. He must have been listening to Kung Fu Fighting before the game started because he started doing fly kicks.
That was amazing.
That was insanity. Insanity. And I was at work, and I didn't see what was going on. I wasn't at work. I was doing something. I didn't see what was going on in the game. And then I just saw a tweet from RJ. So I knew something bad had happened. I just didn't know what. And then, I saw it. I saw a clip of it on Twitter, and I was just like, out of all the things I expected to happen this weekend, this wasn't on the list. It wasn't even on the list. Just Jimenez flying into someone for absolutely not. Oh, my goodness.
Bro.
So a red card and a -2 points was, ugh.
Bro, out of all the animes the three of us like to talk about sometimes, that kick would have worked well in the animes we watched. Like, he got all the height, he got the right flex, he got the right pullback of the leg after he struck. It was something out of an anime. What in the world was going on?
Absolutely crazy. So now that's the new problem for me. So on the bench, I've also got Visser and Pinnock are blanking, and Doggy, who's messed me up big time as well, is blanking. So I've got 3 blanks on the bench and Jimenez on the pitch. So as it stands, I'm probably going to just do Jimenez to Watkins. And then I was thinking about taking out Doggy, but then I didn't want to bring in another defender on a -4 because in my mind, they have to keep a clean sheet and return for that to pay off. Yeah, for that to pay off. And I'm not going to pick the right person. I already know that. I'm not going to pick the right defender to get that for me.
I've accepted already.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I might as well just leave that as it is. Just have the 3 blanks on the bench and risk. So I either just do Jimenez to Watkins and leave it. Leave it as it is. Or I take a punt and do a Dingra to Palmer or Sterling.
For the -4.
For the -4, yeah. Because they're much more likely to return than a Dingra for me. But I haven't decided on that yet. I think Jimenez to Watkins is a done deal. I'll do that probably today. And then leave Gordon, even though he's on a yellow. And maybe move... Or I could move Gordon, actually, instead of a Dingra.
Yeah, but it's a bit similar. Like, Gordon's a player we're going to want.
Yeah, but I do have the wild card, isn't it? I've got the wild card, so I can always bring him back.
Exactly.
So any move I make, I'm like, in that sense, I'm quite happy. That's why I'm happy to go to Sterling instead of Palmer. Just try it for a couple of weeks.
There you go.
Yeah, just to get the maybe the luck of the draw, and then go to whoever I need to go to when I wild card. I've also changed my mind about the wild card, by the way. I was going to do it game week 19. I've now changed it. I'm going to do it game week 20.
Game week 20? Yeah, that's very clever.
Yeah. I need more information in it. There's doubles coming up. When I'll get Haaland back, and I can take Salah out for that. So game week 20 just made much more sense logistically.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Jimenez to Watkins, and then figure out if I'm going to take the -4 or not for either Odinga or Gordon. I haven't decided though.
And all that cheddar in the bank. 9
Yeah,
million.
9 million in the bank. Yeah, crazy.
Come on. And now we shall go to RJ's team. So for those on audio, 7.5 million in the bank. Currently, he has Areola, Lascelles, Trent, Saliba, Palmer, Son, Saka, Kudus, Captain Salah, Cunha, and Solanke. On the bench, he has Johnston, Semenyo, Branthwaite, and Mikolenko.
Yeah.
Expected points 58.4. And like I said, 7.5 million in the bank and one transfer now. He's asked the question, but we won't answer that question right here. But if Ariana is fit, yeah, go ahead.
I did speak to him, and he did say the one transfer he's going to make. I can't remember which striker he said he was going to take out now. He's going to take one of the strikers out and bring in Watkins. Yeah, which is the move for everyone to make. If you haven't got him, finding a way to get him in is the right move to make this week.
It's funny when looking at your team. I don't mind people really taking out -4 if you're going to captain one of the assets, and that's what you're doing. So, I mean, that's cute coming from me, considering how hit crazy I've been recently. But I think Watkins is such a no-brainer at this point that he'll probably blank. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, that is how nailed on he is as captain. Is that he's
and Darwin's going to score.
which would be crazy if that does happen, because if Jimenez never got his red, I would be taking out Darwin for Watkins. But it's only because Jimenez is red that I'm doing it that way around. So keeping Darwin, I've been forced to keep him. So if he does get a return, that is actually a bit jammy, because it was not intended to play this game week at all.
Yeah. He is flying at the moment, RJ, with the kind of updated points with the Bournemouth Luton game being void.
He is, yeah.
He got the 16 points off Kudus off the bench, so he actually made an additional 7 points, which is incredible. So I think he's just outside top 100k right now.
Yeah.
So RJ is having a stormer of a season, and the thing is he's really not been template. Like, he hasn't had some of those players that everyone's had. You know, he went for Kudus very early. Cunha, he's gone for recently after we all had a discussion.
He went for Trent because I think one as well.
He went for Trent as well. So yeah, he's from an only one bonus point perspective, it's brilliant. But for the three of us, it's awful. I don't like it. Because the worst part is when he doesn't brag about it. I'm like, stop it! Like, just be a dick. Oh, brilliant! So we shall go to my favorite section, community questions. So, Law, if you wouldn't mind reading it out, sir.
Yes. So our very own RJ asks, "Is it worth bringing in a keeper for a hit? I have Johnston injured and Areola, who knows if he'll start."
I don't mind it. I genuinely don't mind it, because let's assume they're both injured. You bring in that keeper for -4. It's like, okay, well, if he gets a clean sheet, brilliant. If he concedes a goal, I'll still get 2 points, perhaps some save points down the line. But also, this is an issue you're going to need to fix, because
at some point you're going to fix it. It's always going to be for a hit. It's never going to be your only problem.
In my opinion, Henderson's a better goalkeeper than Johnston anyway. I've always thought that. I think Henderson's a very good goalie, and he was excellent against Man City. So, yeah, I don't mind it. But I guess if we both agreed to go for it, who would be the goalie? Even though I put a spoiler there with the image.
The Bravcar, I also really like Leno. I think Fulham have been in a great run of form, and I think Leno is actually a decent shout as well.
Yeah. I mean, if we, Fulham's fixtures as well, they're banging, aren't they? They're really, really good long term. And he does pick up points, so.
He does.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
I think
Burnley for me, at home, Bournemouth away, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, after Burnley at home, Bournemouth away, at home to Arsenal, away to Chelsea, tough games. But then home to Everton, away to Burnley, home to Bournemouth. I mean.
Yeah. I think he's my top pick. If I was going to bring one in, Leno would be my top pick.
Save points galore. So RJ, I was going to say Dubravka, but I think yeah, Leno's the shout because also he is the number one, and with Dubravka, you can't say that.
Yeah,
And everyone
that's
is
some.
fit.
Yeah, true. Are they going to do something in January? I
I
don't
think
think
they will.
I don't
Oh,
think
you
they
know,
will.
alright.
No, I don't. I think they keep Dubravka and wait for Pope. I don't know if they go for a goalkeeper. I don't know where that whole thing came from. Like as soon as Pope was injured, they're gonna buy a. That's the whole point of having Dubravka there. But
That's cool. It's so obvious.
I was so like when it all came out, Pope was interested in buying another goalkeeper. I was like, that was the whole point. That's the whole point of Dubravka, no, is that you don't have to go and buy another goalkeeper. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced they go and buy another one, but I still think Newcastle are in a bad place right now defensively. Probably the worst they've been defensively since Howe came in, and then
yeah.
So yeah, I'm not convinced by that. I'm not convinced by bringing in Dubravka. I prefer Leno, definitely.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Dubravka obviously to go with the image that's on there, but yeah, I agree as well because it's a pertinent issue at the moment what RJ is going through in regards to goalkeepers because no one's bloody fit and no one's guaranteed right now.
Yeah.
So I've got Dubravka, you have him as well. Yeah, but it's very much like I'm always going week by week to enjoy it because Sanchez has gone down recently, cropped. Other budget keepers that, we're at a point where we're just going to have to bite the bullet, forget about these 4 million valued great goalkeepers and just buy someone that we know is nailed.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So
exactly.
I think Leno's a great shout. Cool. So thank you very much for the question, RJ. Law. We made it, bro. I mean, this is like record time.
Yeah, this is a record. This is absolutely a record. 100%.
I guess really it's just unlike myself, guys. You should probably hold the transfers. I don't make early transfers. This time I did, and then when Gordon goes down, I'm like, well, there you go, Ray. That's why you wait. But yeah, I mean, once again, please make sure to follow us at only one bonus point. Law, your handle.
Yeah, my handle is at only1_law.
At Ray_Cure. Email us only one bonus point at gmail.com and then mini league code Law
is Oscar Charlie 3 Bravo Kilo.
Brilliant. And of course, RJ at _only1 RJ. So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be our last video of 2023, Law. It's been an unbelievable year.
Yes, it has.
A year where I have been on board as well, so it's been so much fun. The banter is just next level, and honestly, we have difficult days at work. We've all said it, but then when we, record together, it's kind of like, all right, cool. You're just chilling with your mates.
It all goes in the background. Yeah.
Brilliant. But anyway, guys, stay safe. Enjoy your drinks. I've gone 3 months without alcohol, so I'm going to hit that 0% beer. And absolutely keep safe. So from all of us here at Only One Bonus Point, Merry Christmas and
Happy New Year. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.